Welcome to the next part of our wiring series, and as I said in the last part, we are now looking at sensors, how to wire up any sensors you will need, because with basically RPM and 0% TPS you're not going to be able to do much except for starting the car. First of all, what sensors will you need to get the car running properly? Well, for a naturally aspirated car, you could run just TPS. You wouldn't necessarily need a map sensor. So that would include TPS, coolant temperature, intake air temperature, and that's pretty much it. You don't necessarily need any more than that. For a turbo car, where you are actually running boost pressure, you will need a map sensor also. So this is pretty much a must-have, because while you could run TPS, it is very suboptimal because you cannot tune it correctly for turbo. And that's why you need a map sensor. Most ECUs like Speedovinos and stuff, they do have a map sensor integrated and already on the board, while Rusefi does not. So you will have to wire in a separate map sensor, and that is also pretty easy, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. One thing that you will also 100% need, although not necessarily in the ECU because it is using a separate controller, is a AFR or wideband gauge or wideband sensor, so to measure your AFR or air-fuel ratio. And that is usually done either with an offboard controller, so a gauge with a controller integrated into it, or a separate controller without a gauge, although I don't really like those. And that is either fed into the ECU, or in case of the Rusefi, for example, you will have the option to use the integrated controller, and you will have to just wire in your sensor. We are going to talk about wiring up the gauge method, because that is not difficult, but it is different than with the integrated controller. The integrated controller is basically just wiring up by colors and is pretty easy, and it also is on the website of Rusefi. You can find that there, and that is really not hard. Before you are wiring anything though, you should know what sensors you are going to use. For example, there are in Tuner Studio presets for different sensors. For example, Mazda sensors are already in there, and you can use a preset that has the resistance values for coolant or temperature sensors and the voltage readings for analog sensors already in there. But if you, for example, use a sensor that does not have a predetermined value, you could either measure the resistances at different temperatures. So for example, if you are at ambient and you know your ambient temperature, then you could, for example, measure the resistance of that sensor and then cool down the sensor, for example, to a specific temperature, measure again, and heat it up to a specific temperature and measure again, so that you have 3 different points of where you have different resistance values, because 2 points are usually not going to be enough, and you will usually need more for temperature sensors. But in most cases, you will be able to find resistance values for different sensors like GM sensors, etc. There are spec tables for them, and you can use those. The same can be said for pressure sensors, for example, like a cheap map sensor from AliExpress, just as a demonstration. We have a table right here that will show you the voltage. That would be for an analog sensor, because analog sensors use voltage, and at 0.1 volts, it would, for example, show minus 15 psi or minus 1 bar of pressure, and at 4.5 volts, it would show 3 bars of pressure, or 4 bar, because that would be a 4 bar map sensor, 3 bar pressure plus atmospheric. And so these are the values that you would put into Tuner Studio. So that's pretty simple. The same works with, for example, the AEM wideband. You also have that same table here that you have to put into Tuner Studio. I'm going to show you that later. And we have 0.5 volts at 8.5 AFR up to 4.5 volts at 18 AFR. So that is the analog sensors. So continuing with our wiring diagram, as in the previous video, I'm going to use the RusEFI, UAEFI for demonstration purposes. And here we have our sensors that we need. We have TPS, MAP, which are analog sensors. We have coolant temp and IAT, which are resistance sensors with 2 pins. We also have the AFR gauge here, but we're gonna do that last. So first of all, the coolant temp and IAT, those are very, very easy and straightforward. In our ECU pinout, we have 2 dedicated inputs for IAT and coolant, and that's basically where one wire goes to from those sensors. It doesn't matter which one because there is no polarity. The other wire just goes to sensor ground. That's it. You can put both of them together, that doesn't make a difference. And that's it for these sensors, that's done. So that's very, very easy. MAP and TPS is a little bit different and a little bit more complicated, but still not too bad. Most MAP and TPS sensors are using 5 volts as a sensor reference because the input for an analog sensor is also 0 to 5 volts, as you have seen before. So they basically need a reference voltage. From that, they will reduce the voltage basically and give that voltage that comes out of the sensor into the ECU, and that ECU interprets that as a signal. So we have on our pinout, the yellow lines are the signal lines. So basically that's the voltage the ECU gets, and that's the input here. For example, we have a universal analog input. In this case, it's suggested MAP and this is suggested TPS because those are the standard inputs that are selected in Tuner Studio, so you don't have to change anything. From on a different ECU, for example, this might be different. You could use any analog input and select that one you used in the software of your choice or whatever the ECU uses, but that's also not complicated. Then the actual 5 volt reference you don't get from your battery because obviously that's 12 volt, not 5 volt. And on your ECU you should have at least one 5 volt sensor power feed or reference. And you can use 1 or 2 of those. I just used each port of those because I have 2 for MAP and TPS. So it goes to the power wires of those sensors, so they have that 5 volt power. And the third wire is also pretty easy. It just goes to sensor ground, and that's it. You can also splice those together. You don't need to wire them to separate sensor grounds, although honestly I wouldn't put all of them on one because usually these ECUs have plenty of different sensor grounds. So this, for example, has at least 1, 2, and then it's 3, 4, 5. And then I think there are even more. So you could at any point use those. Then we are looking at the AFR gauge. Obviously, the AFR gauge also needs power so that it works in itself. So it needs plus 12 volt and ground. So that just goes to the battery and ground. But if you wouldn't connect anything else with the sensor, it would work and display voltage or display your AFR. And to get that reading into Tuner Studio or into the ECU, you will need the 5 volt plus to a auxiliary analog input. In my case, it's auxiliary because I don't have a dedicated wideband input because this ECU has a wideband controller in it. So it will use that as a primary input. And for example, on a Speeduino, you have a dedicated Lambda input that is basically just an analog input, but it is because you cannot select it in Tuner Studio, you will need to use that. And the ground, you are going to sensor ground for the minus 5 volts. It is also possible to go to just a normal ground on your chassis or engine, but you might run the risk of the reading not being precise, and it has to match from the gauge to the reading in Tuner Studio. Otherwise you will have problems because you will not have precise AFR readings. That's basically it for wiring the sensors. The last thing would be what you need to adjust in Tuner Studio. And that's also pretty easy. You have on RusEFI, you have a sensors tab, and you can put in basically everything here. For example, on coolant temperature sensors, you have either a custom resistance values, so whatever you are going to use, but you can first of all use or select the input that you are using. As I said, the D16 is basically the pre-selected one. If you want to use a different pin, that's also possible, but you will need to look out for what pin you are going to use. The common coolant temperature sensors, as I said before, the Miata ones are in there and one GM one. Also, Bosch has some that will match up, but in most cases you will get a spec sheet where you have the different resistance values in there, and those you can put in here, and then you will have a precise coolant temperature. You have to watch out because the coolant temperature also only is displayed correctly when your ECU is actually plugged into the car and powered on. Otherwise, these readings might be off. Same goes for IAT. TPS is a little bit different. While you can just calibrate TPS with tools and then calibrate TPS as you are used to with Speeduino or whatever. So you basically sit in the car, and when you are off the throttle pedal, just get current here. That's the off, basically the off throttle or zero throttle value, and then you press full throttle and get current, and then you have the full throttle value here, and then you have all the values, and you have calibrated your TPS here. It's also possible, for example, if you're using a electronic throttle body, those have two TPS sensors integrated, so you have two different TPS values here, but that's none of our concern right now, so this is going to be fine. As for O2 sensor, as I said, because it's a RusEFI, this doesn't make sense to show here, but in Tuner Studio for a Speeduino unit, you have under tools, calibrate AFR sensor, and then you can calibrate your AFR sensor here. There are also a few of those listed here, but even if you put in, like for example, the AM linear here, that might not 100% match up, and you might have to just put in the correct values here, and you will have the calibration that way. For the map sensor, it is very similar to the other sensors, although it's a little bit, it's more like the AFR sensor, as you have basically the option to use different pre-selected or pre-configured map sensors here. For example, GM3 bar is pretty popular. But if you don't have one, for example, like I did, you can put in your low point kPa. So I have one from 0.1 to 4.5 volts. So I put in 0.1 at low point voltage and 4.5 volt at high point voltage. And then I put in the minimum and maximum pressure, and then that should also match up. So that's also pretty easy, and pretty much the configuration is similar for any sensor you're going to use. That's it for the sensor configuration. That's it from me. I wish you a nice day, and goodbye.